What a difference a week makes. The Sunbirds are back at home for the first of 4 straight and 8 of 10. You're in the Special Events Center. Head coach CJ Haydock. You guys have been making some moves since we last saw you. You beat Point Loma, then you win 2 on the road at Azusa in Concordia. I think everybody kind of asks the question, but how do you articulate it? What is starting to click for this group?
I mean, I think we always, you can record check us if you want. We always said we were going to be good in January and February, that our guys just needed reps and some health. I think there's a lot of things. I think like our belief has really improved. I think our trust. I think our execution. I think on offense, we're converting to the REM at a much higher rate, which is a direct byproduct of some skill work that we've been pouring into for 8 weeks. I think we identified some things that we had to get better at, and there's not quick fixes in this world. I think too often, especially in sports, especially in college athletics, we get obsessed with quick fixes. Now, we're a developmental program, and so our guys have really attacked their skill work and their rim finishing and some of those things. And then as well, with that, our three-point attempt rate has come way down, and we're shooting about 10% higher from 3 points. So we're shooting 10% better at the rim, 10% better from 3. You put that together, it's a winning recipe on offense. And then on defense, part of it is personnel. We get some guys back healthy. Avery Lewis and Gabe Kiet are like cornerstone linchpin defensive guys for us. But the biggest thing I think we've been in terms of scheme defensively is our guys, it's kind of sunk in on personnel scout, how we attack certain guys, who we can help off of, how you should close out to a shooter versus a driver. I think the last 3 games, our execution of that has been at another level. And so I think there's some tangible things that we've been trying to fix. And it's hard for young people, right? It's hard for me as an almost 40-year-old. Hey, coach, like I'm really trying to do what you said. Well, hang in there, rep it out. I think it's a testament to our guys and their work and some really strategic adjustments we made that just weren't going to be quick fixes.
Well, you talk about that testament, and so the testament of that testament is the fact that you guys are in the mix now. You look at the conference standings, you've leapfrogged 3 teams that you haven't played yet.
Yep.
And so full opportunity with destiny in your hands a little bit. But now with those expectations, right, now with that belief in there, what's the next step in this process?
Yeah. First, I would say, too, like, there's also some scheduling there, right?
Yeah.
We play a top 5 strength of schedule. It's been top 5 the entire year. It fluctuates based on results, obviously.
I'm going to get to it.
My bad. It preps you for some things. Our guys know it. And then 2, our first 5 games are the 5 hardest road games in the league.
Yeah.
So it was always going to right size a little bit if we have the right dudes in our locker room. That can tank the wrong team. It hasn't tanked us. And now, like we do this. Like we get young, we build, and then we're really good. And whether we're really good right now, I don't know. Whether we can sustain it, I don't know. I do know that we're the same dudes no matter what.
Yeah.
Like every day, how do we win today? How are you a better teammate today than you were yesterday? How are you a better student today than you were yesterday? How do you take care of your body better today than you were yesterday? We win 3 in a row, we lose 3 in a row. That messaging is not going to change to us. We're a holistic growth program. Our guys know that. They buy into that. And we'll see how that carries us.
Okay, so let's talk about the growth at home. You wanted to talk about the schedule. 8 of 10 here in the Special Events Center coming up. How important is that, and what can you do to capitalize on the momentum you guys have built?
Yeah, good question. I think it's an everyday commitment. I think playing in Fresno has massive disadvantages when you have to travel, right? When you're a SoCal team, you get 3 games that are road games that don't require a hotel stay, right? Our deal and the Hawaii Schools deal is more challenging than anybody else in the league. Well, our guys understand that challenge, and we better flip it into an advantage at home. We should offer the same challenge to opposing teams here. And so that requires a level of grit. That requires a level of support from our students and our fans, which they come through for us consistently. And it requires just that knowledge of how valuable these home games are. Not just in terms of wins and losses, but also like we're dealing with young people who have a finite career. Guys, you only get these opportunities so many times. And let's be honest, they're more fun at home. Our families are here. Our friends are here. Our local community is here. I think all of those things matter deeply to us and propel us in the right way.
Well, looking forward to being propelled tonight, but a team coming in with some high expectations too, because they've kind of done a similar thing. They beat Biola the other day. Westmont is here. First look in the NCAA era, a matchup that hasn't happened in 12 years. but long history, right?
Yep.
Nearly 100 games between these two programs, and a guy who coached both teams in the lineage, right? What do you think about tonight's matchup in particular? How does that kick off this next chapter of Westmont and Fresno Pacific?
Yeah, I mean, historically, one of our big rivals that's been missing for a decade, and maybe our more recent fans aren't aware of that, but there's a history there. John Moore coaches here for many years and then goes there and is a Hall of Famer before he moves on, and is is a Fresno Pacific legend without a doubt. We got a lot of those in the West Coast.
Yeah.
And so I think it's good for both schools to be back to that. I don't know if tonight we're going to have a rivalry game. I don't know if we'll ever build to that. But there's a history there that's really important. And then a really talented team. Their starting five is as good as anybody in the league. They just went into Biola, who's one of the league favorites, and beat them on their own floor. Really, really talented offensive team. And they're really old. Bunch of seniors, couple juniors. One of the best shooting teams in the league. Defend the three-point line really well. And so they're feeling themselves. I think if I'm transparent, our guys are probably feeling ourselves a little bit. It's just going to be an old school, great renewal of that rivalry, and it's going to be a great game for sure. Kind of a clash of styles in some ways.
Well, who's going to feel it more? We appreciate your time, Coach.
Love it.
Head Coach CJ Haydock. We're going to get this one in before dinner time tonight. It's Westmont and Fresno Pacific starting lineups and tip coming up next on the Sunbird Sports Network.